And I'm very nervous for you. And I care about my brother. And I know the path he's on right now. And it's ruthless. You got to take him serious, Mike.
I take him extremely serious. These people don't take him serious. This is what I learned through my 58 years of experience. Anyone's capable of killing you. So you should be apprehensive for anyone.
Mike Tyson just revealed shocking news about Jake Paul's upcoming fight with Andrew Tate. Let's be honest. Jake might be in big trouble if he goes through with it.
If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate. Google it if you want to know more. Any day.
What is Jake even thinking? Beating a 58-year-old legend doesn't make you undefeated, it just makes you lucky to still be standing. Tyson didn't hold back either. He made it clear that Jake is about to face a brutal reality check that'll make him regret every bad decision he's made. Try fighting someone your own age, Tyson practically sneered. And honestly, he's not wrong. Everyone's tired of Jake acting like he's the king of boxing, taking credit he hasn't earned. But now, the moment of truth has arrived. Mike Tyson has spoken, and Jake Paul is about to be exposed for all to see.
Well, I don't see too many people critical about it. Look at this. Ha 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 ha.
Mike Tyson has spoken, and Jake Paul is about to regret every over-the-top, staged move he's ever pulled. Tyson didn't hold back, tearing apart Jake's so-called boxing career like it was nothing. According to Tyson, Jake isn't a real boxer, he's just a social media trend with gloves, a stuntman pretending to be a champion. And honestly, Tyson isn't wrong. Jake's career feels like one of those flashy ads that promise everything but deliver nothing. Remember that fight with Tyson, the one that made $18 million. It wasn't a real boxing match, it was more like a Broadway show with gloves. Critics slammed it as a disgrace to the sport, calling it pure theater. Tyson made it clear Jake disrespected boxing and its legends by turning the sport into a joke. And if you think his upcoming fight with Andrew Tate is going to save his reputation, think again. Tyson warned this is Jake's final chance to prove he's more than just a PR stunt with muscles and a few questionable wins. Tyson didn't hold back when he called out Jake Paul's so-called boxing record. Let's be real, it's more like a lineup of retired fighters, D-list athletes, and people just looking for a quick payday. Where's the real competition? Where's the challenge? According to Tyson, Jake has never fought anyone who wasn't either retired or just happy to cash a big check. And let's not forget Tyson's own fight with Jake. Tyson, nearly 60 years old and way past his prime, still gave Jake a tough time. But what did Jake do afterward? He walked out like he'd just achieved the impossible, acting as if beating an older, out-of-prime legend was something to brag about.
While you're next training, I know you're only 18 days away from a fight, but next time you're training and you want some sparring, fly to Romania and we'll spar and we'll film it and we'll decide if we want to release it or not afterwards. But I have no problem. We can have a sparring match anytime. That's easy,
let's
right?
do it. Let's do it, guys.
I'm down for that, but we can't. Yeah. But we can't release it for free. That's like, it's like giving the people what they want.
Fans saw right through that fight. It was faker than Jake's thank you fans tweets. People didn't hold back, calling it what it really was, a scripted sideshow, not a real sporting event. And the best part, Jake acted like he'd done something incredible. Meanwhile, actual boxers, the ones who grind hard in the gym every day, were laughing so hard they might have pulled a muscle. Tyson didn't stay quiet either. He called Jake out for avoiding real fighters. Where's the fight with McGregor, Jake? Or literally anyone who's an active competitor? Now, Tyson's take on the upcoming Jake Paul vs. Andrew Tate fight. Pure fire. He didn't sugarcoat it. According to Tyson, Jake has officially taken on more than he can handle. Andrew Tate isn't some washed-up has been looking for attention. He's a 4-time world kickboxing champion, a guy with more real fights under his belt than Jake has Instagram followers. Tyson pointed out the obvious, Tate is everything Jake isn't: authentic, tough, and genuinely skilled. To make it even better, Tate has put $3 million of his own money on this fight. That's not a stunt, that's the confidence of someone who knows what they're doing. Meanwhile, Jake's whole plan seems to be dodging real fighters and hoping no one notices.
And you turned on Netflix that night. We were like, holy fuck, I'm about to see the greatest live sporting event of all time.
Mike Tyson didn't hold back when it came to Jake Paul, completely tearing apart his so-called boxing career. He didn't just throw a jab, he went straight for the knockout, exposing everything Jake stands for. According to Tyson, Jake's career isn't about skill or passion. It's a full-on circus act filled with gimmicks, influencers, and enough viral stunts to make real fighter eyes. Tyson called out Jake's ridiculous attempts to mock boxing legends like Carl Froch, saying, "What does Jake Paul even know about real boxing? Absolutely nothing. Jake trying to insult legends is like a kid trying to criticize a genius, desperate, embarrassing, and honestly just plain sad." Tyson made it clear Jake's antics are an insult to the sport and its true champions.
Jake is actually quite a nice guy. I met Jake and he's actually quite a nice guy. I wanted to jump back in there and teach him all a lesson. And there were some fights on the card, some big fights for me being organized in November.
Mike Tyson didn't hold back and went straight to the point about Jake Paul. He called out Jake's excuses and his laughable attempts to brush off criticism as jealousy. Tyson said no one is jealous of someone who picks their opponents like they're casting a bad reality show. He made it clear this fight with Andrew Tate isn't just another payday for Jake, it could ruin him. Jake's whole reputation depends on winning these flashy fights. If he loses to Tate, it's game over. And as for Jake calling Tate a washed-up kickboxer, Tyson found that ridiculous. Tate is a 4-time world kickboxing champion who's accomplished more in 1 year than Jake ever could in his entire career of overhyped matches. Tyson didn't stop there. He tore into Jake's so-called fighting career, saying real fighters don't need clout, they need heart. He pointed out the difference between Jake and Tate. While Tate spent decades mastering his craft, Jake was busy making YouTube pranks. Jake's attempts to downplay Tate's skills didn't impress Tyson either. He called Jake's trash talk pathetic and said it's nothing but fear in disguise. Deep down, Jake knows Tate is everything he's not: authentic, disciplined, and actually skilled in the ring.
Don't worry about Conor McGregor f***ing you up. Don't worry about Floyd Mayweather f***ing you up. You only want to lose to them so you can say, well, I lost to Conor McGregor.
Mike Tyson didn't hold back and went straight for the knockout, bringing up his own fight with Jake Paul. Remember that disaster? Critics called it a tragic comedy, and they weren't wrong. Tyson, almost 60 and wearing a knee brace like it was part of his outfit, still managed to give Jake a tough time. And what did Jake do? He strutted around afterward like he'd just won a gold medal at the Olympics. Tyson reminded everyone how fans reacted: outraged, embarrassed, and completely unimpressed. That fight wasn't just bad, it was an insult to boxing, and Tyson isn't about to let Jake forget it. Now, with Jake's fight against Andrew Tate coming up, Tyson is sounding the alarm. He warns that Jake's oversized ego might finally run into a reality check he can't dodge. Mike Tyson delivered the ultimate knockout with his final words: "Boxing is for warriors, not wannabes." He threw a verbal punch straight at Jake Paul's influencer boxing career. To Tyson, Jake isn't just embarrassing himself, he's dragging boxing's reputation through the mud, turning it into a spectacle for clout chasers instead of a proving ground for real athletes. This fight with Andrew Tate, Tyson says, isn't just about Jake. It's about the future of boxing. Will it stay a sport of legends, or will it crumble under the weight of social media hype and meme culture? Tyson isn't just sitting this one out. He's backing Andrew Tate, hoping the kickboxing champ can restore some dignity to the sport. Tyson believes if Tate gives Jake the beatdown he needs, boxing might finally start regaining respect. With 65 million people expected to watch, this isn't just Jake vs. Tate, it's a fight for the soul of boxing. Tyson doesn't think Jake can leave this fight with his reputation intact. If Jake loses, and let's be honest, that's very likely, the whole Jake Paul hype will fall apart. No more viral clips of him acting like the next Muhammad Ali. No more flashy promotions trying to convince us he's changing the sport. Instead, Jake will be exposed for what he really is: a guy who turned boxing into a cringe-worthy social media game. So, Jake, enjoy your moment while it lasts. When it's all over, you won't be remembered as a boxer, but as the guy who tried to fool the world and failed badly.